Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today we have got another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 Prestige class description. And today, from the Complete Warrior, we are going to be looking at the Halfling Outrider. Right there. Kind of blocked a little by my mic, but you guys saw it well enough. So, the Halfling Outrider. Well, we are going to be looking at what this character is. We're going to be looking at how you go about becoming a Halfling Outrider. We're going to go look into what you get for being a Halfling Outrider. And then we're going to look at how good they are and how they could potentially be used in a build. So let's get to it. So first off, what is the Halfling Outrider? Well, Halflings are somewhat of nomadic people. They tend to live, outskirts of society. They tend to, have their little villages, but somewhat in the wild. I mean, they're not super nomadic. I mean, they're basically hobbits from Lord of the Rings. Let's be real. They originally were until the Tolkien estate sued them. So just imagine that. Anyways, that's a little off topic. But these halflings, living in their little homes outside of town, they often get attacked by, various threats because, well, they're kind of living in a somewhat nomadic life. They have low defenses, so it's not exactly hard to, breach them, unlike that of like a dwarf city with their massive mountain walls and all that. Pretty hard to penetrate. Most of their threats come from inside, or at least a lot of them do. Or human cities with their massive walls and big towering cities, with castles and all that fun stuff. Halflings don't really have all that. They have, a simple little village, just outside of, out in the middle of nowhere, lots of nature, all that good stuff. Much easier to get into. So because of that, you see, there's some need for some defense. And what halflings usually do for that is they rely on the Halfling Outriders. And those Halfling Outriders are mounted warriors that patrol the area around the halflings' cities. And they look out for danger, try and take it on if they can. If not, they warn everybody. They try and do a little bit of both, and they do what they can to keep everyone safe. Like, they're the vanguard. They're the ones who make the halfling city safe. That's what they are. That's really all it is for that. So let's get into what it takes to become a halfling outrider. Fairly simple, actually. First off, halfling, obviously. I mean, it is a halfling outrider, so no shocker there. Base attack bonus of 5. It is a martial class, so yeah. It does require some skills. So listen 3, ride 6, and spot 3, so not too bad. And it does require both the mounted combat and mounted archery feats, which, are pretty important feats for this class anyways. Basically it for what it takes to become a halfling outrider. Now let's talk about what you get as a halfling outrider. First off, you get a D8 hit dice, which is kind of low for a martial class, but it's not terrible. You get 4+ int for skills, but the skill list is horrible. There's only 5 skills. They're all good skills, but there's only 5 of them, which is really weird. So if you have a high int, you may actually be forced to cross class. So that could be an issue. But something to keep in mind. Maybe don't max out those skills before getting into this, so you can just start dumping more ranks into the skills that these ones actually have once you get in. Not a bad option, but definitely something to be aware of, because this is a really weird one for skills. Now for base attack bonus, it has a good base attack bonus, good fortitude, and not good fortitude. It has a bad fortitude, but a good reflex and a bad will. Interesting. Sorry, the book was a little confusing. It had that AC bonus, which threw me off. It does get an AC bonus. That is one of the interesting features. So they get a bonus whenever mounted to their armor class. And this is a dodge bonus, so it will stack with everything. And it is a +5 bonus. Yeah, potentially. It starts out as a +1, but it goes up to a +5, which is really nice. Now, they also are going to get a mount. Now, the mount feature is a weird one. So let's dive into this. So normally, and by normally I mean if you don't have an animal companion and you don't have a special mount, so you don't have the levels in Ranger, Druid, or Paladin, this mount feature basically just means that your Halfling village bought you a mount. Like, they paid for it, they paid for the bridle and saddle and all that, and you don't have to spend your money acquiring this mount. But it's still just a normal mount that you could have bought. That's the normal version of mount. However, the much better version is the one if you have the animal companion class feature or the special mount feature, or potentially both, assuming your DM allows this, because it is a little bit of cheese. So if you have have some levels in Ranger or Druid, you can actually have your levels with this class stack with your Ranger or Druid levels in order to make your animal companion stronger. So basically, this mount ability just makes your animal companion better, which is nice. And might also still include a free bridle for it, assuming you even need one. But yeah, pretty nice. You also, if you have levels in Paladin, you can also have them count for your special mount to make your special mount stronger, which very, very nice. Now, maybe you have levels in both Paladin and Ranger or Druid. The book's a little ambiguous on this, and it's possible it can count for both of them and make them both stronger, especially if you have, with Ranger and if I could talk, Ranger and Paladin, you could make them stack for the purposes. You can make them both the same thing. There's a feat that exists for that. Devoted, Devoted Tracker? Yeah. You could use the Devoted Tracker feat with this potentially, assuming your DM allows it. So can be nice, which would get you a really strong mount. Your DM might allow it, he might not. Ask first, because it is a bit of cheese. All right, next you gain the Alertness Feet, so that's kind of good. Yeah, so that's a decent enough feat. You get a ride bonus. So you get a competence bonus to your ride skill equal to your class level. So that's nice. You get defensive riding. Now, defensive riding, this gets a lot of stuff. So let me dig into this, because there's a lot to remember for this. So at second level, she does if you do nothing while mount. So this only works if you do nothing and the mount just goes. But if you're just riding, you can take a +2 bonus on your reflex saves, +4 dodge bonus to your armor class, which is nice. In addition, your mount gets a 20-foot burst to speed, and a +2 bonus on all will saves, and a +4 dodge bonus to armor class. So really, really nice. So both you and your mount get that +4 to armor class, since the bonuses are separate, but you both get a +4. Like, yeah. Anyways, so that's super nice. So if you're just trying to like retreat, or maybe you're just moving that turn, you can get all sorts of bonuses. Very, very nice. Now you can get Unbroken Charge. This one's one of the better ones. So with Unbroken Charge, it will allow you to make a charge attack through allies, which is nice. That's something a lot of charging characters get annoyed by. Their allies get in the way and then they can't charge, and charging can be really nice in this game. So yeah, Unbroken Charge, very nice that they can just go through allied squares while charging, which is not something you can normally do. The next one that they get, which is also really good, is Stand on Mount. Now, Stand on Mount will let them stand on their mount, and if they can make a DC 20 ride check, which isn't bad, and while doing so, they are then able to stand on the mount while it's going full move or even running, and from there they can make their they can even make like a full ranged attack from there, which is really nice because so they take no penalties for ranged weapons. So they can make a full ranged attack without penalty while standing on the back of their mount. All they have to do is make a DC 20 ride check. That is amazing. It is a really, really, really good ability that I just have not seen on any other prestige class. So definitely a good one. Next up, they get Leap from Saddle, which Leap from Saddle is, again, pretty good. It will allow them to jump off of their mount's back. I think so yeah, the mount can't be doing anything more than a double move when using it, which is still impressive. A double move's a lot, especially for a mount. But you can jump off of your mount while it's doing a double move, and just make a ride check, DC 20, and be able to land adjacent to it in the middle of its motion. So you can just kind of jump off it mid-ride, and if there's an enemy right there, you can attack it. Now, it's jumping off is a free action. Now, whether or not that attack is part of the free action, I would say no, but I would actually say that you could just use a standard action to attack, or potentially even a full round action to full attack to since it is only a free action to jump off, and when doing so, it basically counts as a charge. So really nice. You get the sort of counts. You get the +2 to attack and -2 to AC as if it was a charge. Now, whether it's an actual charge or not is ambiguous because it doesn't say, although it does specifically reference it's like a charge. It specifically says that, but it doesn't say that it is a charge. So hard to say whether or not you could like use pounce for that, or maybe just you can still pounce because you can full attack. Like, it's really ambiguous what can be done after that. Ask your DM, because that can be either really good or pretty good depending on what your DM says. There's a lot of ways to interpret that. Next up, you get Evasion, and not only that, but while mounted, you can confer Evasion to your mount. So that's really nice. Yeah. Then you get full mounted attack, which will allow you to make a full melee attack whenever your mount moves a single move or less. You can still make a full melee attack. So not bad. And then you get quick turn finally, which lets you make one turn of up to 90 degrees in the middle of a charge whenever you charge. It's like not even just usable like once a day. Like just you can do a free action to make the mount turn up to 90 degrees in the middle of a charge, which is definitely nice. Sorry, I was checking to see if there was a use limit, and it doesn't appear to be one. So yeah, very nice ability right there. So this class, really good. It's one of the best prestige classes in the game in terms of mounted combat, assuming at least for versatility. Like if you're looking at, if you just want to be a good charger, Cavalier's the way to go on that. But Cavalier doesn't have a lot of the options this one does. It doesn't have, the ability to, it doesn't have the ranged combat options. It's not really good at that. This one is. And it's also pretty good at charging with a lance too. That's pretty good at fleeing. You get a nice +5 bonus to AC. You get a lot of things with this, which are really, really nice. And there's really good synergy. Like a number of these things require you to make a, DC 20 ride check. Well, if you have a +10 to ride from the class, then that makes that a lot easier. I mean, assuming you have no ranks in ride, which this one already requires 6 ranks in it. So assuming you just take those 6 ranks, you've already got a 16. You just got to roll a 4, which isn't that hard. And that's assuming no dex and you didn't put any extra ranks in ride, which you really should. So yeah, this is just a really good prestige class. All in all, it's even better if your DM allows that cheese with animal companion and your special mount. Even without that, it's better if you have one of them. This has good synergy with the Cavalier prestige class. You can do both. It's got some really good options with that. It just makes you even better at charging, and you still get your benefits from range stuff with the range and all that. Although Cavalier doesn't add to that at all. Then you still get there's so many different options. Of course, there's some cheese with the leap from saddle, but that ability isn't the best. Like, it requires you to leave your mount, which isn't something you're often going to be doing. Like, most of your best abilities are when you're on the mount. So that would be something that is cool to do, but then you become significantly weaker after doing it. Even if you get some cool benefits from it initially. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, this prestige class is quite good. The level of whether or not the DM allows cheese, it's still a very good prestige class. There's a number of builds that it can be used with. Particularly, you'd want to be looking at like Ranger, Paladin, maybe both, maybe Beastmaster to get that animal companion that's even a little bit stronger. Not a bad option on that. Yeah, pretty good all around, I would say. So yeah, that is the Halfling Outrider. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I do my best to try and respond to every comment. Consider giving the video a like if you enjoyed the video. Maybe subscribe for more D&D 3.5 videos. We do one of these on every class, race, and prestige class in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. So definitely check that out. Ring the notification bell so you never miss out on a video. And as always, I'm Mitch, and I'll be seeing you